everybody to WTL. Where's the line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by the one, the only, the J.O. And I'm not talking
J.O.
No, I'm not talking JoJo, FloJo, any of that. We're talking Jeremy Odom. Jeremy, glad to have you back in the fold.
Man, it is so good to be here talking ball with the fellas.
You better believe it.
Nothing better.
You better believe it. And, you know, we're not getting rid of Jabron.
No.
Jake has been on fire with his NASCAR picks over the summer.
He actually got me watching NASCAR.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you watch that, and he's got such conviction. He's like, SVG, it's a road course. And you're like, well, that sounds pretty simple.
Yeah.
And then it works.
It works. No,
Yeah.
He was so confident in his picks, and I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. My son was kind of getting into NASCAR, and I'm like, all right, I'll watch. It was incredible how on the nose he is.
Well, and you know, different networks do different broadcasts, but if you watch it, it seems like Fox kind of antes up, you know, and man, they put some animations on there. They get some guys talking smack. You're like, what is going on? But it is fun. And Jake, you've been on fire. That's been a lot of fun. Those videos are all over YouTube and Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. So, we're keeping that. We're keeping Jake. We're keeping Jabron. Jabron's got a parlay coming up with UFC 319. 319?
Is it 319?
318. 319. It's DDP, and he's coming under a lot of fire. I know that, so it should be a lot of fun.
If it's a weekend, it's a UFC number. I mean, it's a big deal. Yeah. And Jabron's all over it.
Yeah. The big thing in UFC, they just signed a $7+ billion deal with CBS. Did you see this?
Yeah, ultimately killing pay-per-view from the looks of it.
Right.
So, huge deal with Paramount Plus.
Well, so everybody's happy, right? You and I are happy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we don't have to buy ESPN Plus, then buy it again to watch the content that we thought we bought.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
But I've already heard the blowback is, well, this is going to screw the fighters over because so much of their salaries come off that pay-per-view. So you already have this whole contingent already arguing against the model that's been set up with CBS.
I mean, obviously it changes how the fighters get paid, but the fighters will get paid.
It's
right. We have to believe
right.
that. Jake Paul will fight for the fighters if it comes down to it. Like,
oh, the problem child, the savior, Jake Paul. Yeah, it always comes down to semantics, and the top of the. You know, the lions will eat. The top of the food chain, they're going to eat.
Well, they're going to
regardless.
Pretty well.
So let's waste no time. We got to get right back into it here in a big way. We're talking Big Red this whole time. This is, I think we talked last year, was the 27th. This is the 28th year in a row that Nebraska won the offseason.
Yeah, they're on a roll.
I mean, this is unbelievable.
They're unstoppable in the offseason. It gets me hyped. Like, the juices flowing, and it's certainly not from the heat outside, okay? Coach Rule, he had a heck of an offseason. Like, just going. I don't know if there was a small town he didn't hit, or just a town in general he didn't hit in the state of Nebraska.
Dude,
he's doing
TikToks with Harper Murray.
Yeah.
He's just killing it.
He's just randomly popping in on radio shows. Like, it was fun to watch him have fun.
Yeah.
He felt more in his element, and that translates, hopefully, onto the football field.
Well, I tell you what, he uses a lot of coach speak, but man, it's what I want to hear, and I kind of believe him.
I do.
You know, we did our first episode of Nebraska Football Now, and we ran a whole bunch of his presser, and you buy into what he's selling.
Well, yeah.
You do, and it makes sense, right? Year three.
That's exactly right. That's what he said at the beginning.
Yep.
He said year 3, and then it felt like, all right, maybe he's ahead of schedule at some parts, and then it was same old at times.
Yeah.
But year 3 was always the number we were looking for, so here we are.
It is year 3. Nebraska's sitting at a 7.5 win total. And boy, oh boy, it's already collecting a lot of action on both sides, but it is standing firm at that 7.5, and I personally believe that's where it needs to be. I think 7.5 is the number.
Yeah, I mean, it could maybe inch up to 8.5, but like that's the thing is it's so. Oh no.
Oh, I don't know.
But the thing is that 7.5 is probably the number, and that's actually it feels good. As a Husker fan, the last how many years and go, they think we're going to win at least 7.
Yeah. Ooh, 8. We can do that?
Yeah.
In a regular season setting? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of felt good. But 7.5 feels about right. I mean, you break down the schedule, and I know we're going to get into everything, but like you break down the schedule, and it's like, all right, there's some wins there that we know we should get, but
I don't know. Over the last few years, there were wins I thought we should get, and it just didn't pan out.
But those seasons weren't season 3.
Those weren't season 3, and many of them that that I go back to were under the Scott Frost era.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people don't speak his name. Well, we'll do it.
He had a heck of an off season too. We don't have to get into all that,
yeah,
but he had a heck of an off season.
How much time you got, buddy? He just can't. He can't take his foot out of his own mouth.
No, he really can't.
He just can't help himself, and that's fine. He's not here anymore. We don't need to keep beating a dead horse, kicking a dead horse, whatever he is to Nebraska fans now. All the rage, and on USA Today, our punter, Archie Wilson.
Yeah.
You saw that emotional response.
Press conference.
Mitch Sherman getting right to it. He works for a number of different Husker publications. I do like his show, Locked On. That's pretty good. But of course, he cut right to it. What about your family? Don't you miss them? They're back in Australia. You haven't seen them for a long time. And the kid breaks down. He's crying, and that took off on X, took off on Twitter. And, now these national syndications are picking up. I saw it was on Fox Sports. Tweeted it. So, but locally, Husker fans were talking about him, I don't know, for like the last 2 months.
Right.
Like the hype bug was building around our special teams with Eckler.
Heck of an athlete. I mean, and then
he's a rugby guy.
Yeah, I mean, he can kick with both feet. But Mitch Sherman, real quick. I've heard that they're calling him the new Oprah Winfrey. Like you get in his wheelhouse, he will make you cry. Like that is his thing now. Yeah. But no, this kid's great. He's a heck of an athlete. He's great to have on the team. He obviously cares.
Cares about his family.
Right.
Like that,
and he is a long ways away from home, so that's concerning for the future. But for this season, I mean, he's a heck of an athlete to have.
Yeah, and when this hype started to go, and then it took on the national scene as well, and then it got out there, he can kick with his left foot, he can kick with his right foot. I'm like, okay, I got to get to this. Got right into the numbers. I saw we were favored by 6.5 over Cincinnati.
Okay. I'm
like, okay, now we got a punter though.
Here we go.
And I just watched a Lightborn highlight. Sorry, Lightborn, for that negative 3-yard punt. I'm like, okay, so we don't have to deal with that, right?
Yeah.
Guess how much the line moved from 6.5 favorite over Cincinnati?
I mean, he's good for at least a half a point, right?
No, I'd say it's 6.5.
Oh, say it's 6.5. Okay.
With a minus 150.
So you're telling me the punter didn't make that big of a difference?
And they don't care about the Eckler coming from Tennessee and bringing all of his energy. I like, that's another thing. I like to hear that.
Yes.
It sounds good. It looks good. Mitch Sherman's asking the right questions.
Yeah, he is.
But the odds makers are saying no. We're still at 6.5. I know we're talking win totals, but let's get right to it here with Cincinnati. How are we feeling about that game? Cincinnati was not a good team last year. I believe they only won 4 games. They're filling holes just like we are. Nebraska had to bring in a bunch of receivers and offensive weapons. I do like that running back is solidified for Nebraska. It appears that way. And quarterback. But this is kind of should feel like a home game, but it's not a home game. Why does Nebraska do this? Why can't we just have a home game against Akron?
That's like the concern is like it's a neutral site game. Everybody's going to be hyped up for it, right? Even Cincinnati.
Yep.
And
Kelsey's are going to be there.
It's prime time. It's on a Thursday, so everybody's watching this football game. We're hungry for football.
Yep.
That's the thing. I think we lose the home field advantage there. Even though it's going to be a sea of red, it's going to be different, right?
Yes.
So we lose that a little bit. I love that you brought up the running back situation because a lot of people aren't concerned. Coach Rule says he's not concerned about the running back position. That's why I'm concerned.
I love that.
If he's bringing it up right now, and I'm not concerned. I'm dying right now.
Oh, boy.
So I need to see it to believe it, I guess.
But it's been a running back by committee the last, I don't know how many years. Divine Ozigbo, right, was the last 1,000-yard rusher. Like, what's been going on at the University of Nebraska where we can't get a running back to just take over the job and run with it? And so you think they're trying to manufacture that, and they're trying to make Emmett the key guy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Emmett's going to walk in and look like he's the face of it, right? And hopefully he performs like it.
Yeah.
It just really concerns me when the head coach is just like, I'm not concerned about that. I've got other things to be concerned about.
He is kind of he does like the microphone. He doesn't shy away from it anyway. And now he's doing that kind of walk around the stadium where he talks with guys. And, oh, you had a good practice. Well, yeah, you're the fastest guy on the team. You're going to have a lot of good practices.
So we have a lot of good practices.
Yeah. So some of that stuff I do. What do you make of that? Well, I'll tell you what I do make a lot of is Dana Holgorsen year 2.
Okay.
I really like that, and I think Butler, the defensive coordinator, being year 2.
Yeah.
Year 1 being the coordinator.
Yep.
But he's got a ton of experience. The more I look at it, the more I like it. He's an old Penn State guy.
Yep.
He's got that going for him. He would have been at Penn State longer, except he followed his guy to the pros, and he had some good pro defenses up there too. Not only for his last stint in Buffalo, but the Texans before that. So I think Butler's going to be just fine as the D coordinator. So I don't want to feel like a homer here, but I like the 6.5 with Nebraska. I also like the 7.5 over. I'm going 8 wins plus.
I'm with you. I think I like us to win that game outright. I like us to cover. I like the over. I think we're going to try to spotlight what Dylan can do in Arrowhead.
Yes.
Obviously, his hero,
little Mahomie,
plays
the
there.
Mahomes.
Right.
Yeah, come on now.
They're going to eat that up, right? Like that's going to be a big deal. The defense, to me, just has to prove that the third down stops can happen.
Right.
And then in the red zone, the stops can happen. We struggled last year. But otherwise, I think we should win this football game.
I feel that way too. You heard the timer. That means we're up against it. But I want you to follow up with that. Not only do you think we can win this game in Arrowhead, you think we can win it by a touchdown or more.
100%. Yeah. I think we win by 7 or more.
I just think our D-line, our offensive line, even though we brought some players in, we brought some really good players in, should be able to push around Cincinnati. Good enough to win by that 1 touchdown. You heard the horn. That means we're up against it. But let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the Stock and Rod Company, an outdoor lifestyle brand for those seeking adventure. Whether it's hunting, fishing, hiking, they got you covered. Visit stockandrod.com to get your wild game on. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL. And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. You know what that stands for. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by the one, the only, the J.O.
Oh, J.O.
And I'm not talking JoJo Siwa or any of that jazz. I'm talking Jeremy Odom.
I've never been compared to JoJo Siwa.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not comparing you. Okay. We're not going down that road.
No, not today. Maybe another day.
Hey, I do need you got to get it out there though. Your podcast is on fire. You just celebrated your 100th episode.
100th episode, Laugh With Me podcast. Check it out. It's available everywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. 100 episodes, guys. We've had this season the Tiger King, Joe Exotic.
That had me in stitches. That is, if nothing else, that's a fascinating man.
Oh,
what? He's I think he's a man.
As far as we know, we could get into some topics, but just fascinating his side of the story of things. And if you've watched any of his stuff on Netflix, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, she's obsessed with me. She's just obsessed with this woman. All right, I never thought we'd get into Tiger King on WTL, but Here we are. We had a great discussion talking Husker football.
Yeah.
Of course, we have to talk Husker football. That's what we are. Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. We got to get right back into it. And our very first sports book that opened up here, I was actually on hand to watch the first legal sports bet ever cast in Nebraska. I was there to cover it for News Channel Nebraska.
Did you ride?
I did, and I lost.
Oh,
no. It was year 1 Colorado.
Okay.
And I'm like, we'll beat Colorado.
We should have won that bet.
I just did the money line even.
Yeah.
And no, couldn't do it.
Should have won that bet.
Should have.
Yep.
So, my very
classic degenerate. You should have won that bet.
My very first bet ever didn't work out for the old Huskers. But good on Warhorse. They're sticking with it. They're actually expanding their book here. We have some Nebraska football season specials. There's too much intrigue here. We got to get right to it.
Oh, yes.
Let's start with, what do you want to start? Because there's 3 of them here. Which one do you want to talk over first?
Let's talk about. I know we kind of looked at over under and kind of where we thought they were going to be. They have some options for us. Okay, obviously, you and I both agree, right? We're the over 6.5. We're going to win that, right? Like
7.5. 7.5.
Right, but so they have options. You could do over 6.5. I think over 7.5. Absolutely, we get that. Do you think that this football team could win over 8.5? Are you willing to take that bet? Because it's plus 150 right now. If you were to jump on this,
I mean, it's plus money.
That's a 9-win team.
Yeah, I just think so much is riding on that Cincinnati game. And in years past, that game 1 has been such a hurdle. And it's one of those things where it's like, you gotta show me. Yeah. At some point, you gotta, before I'm just gonna push my chips in, I gotta see it before I can believe it, I guess. And I wanna see it before I do that 8.5, 9-win type of talk. Because I was looking back on some of those Bo Pelini teams. Yep. Those were very talented, really good teams, and they still only won 9 games a year.
Yeah,
I mean, they sent droves of defensive backs and linebackers to the NFL, but still only won 9 games a year.
So I think people forget about that. They remember the 9 wins, but they forget just how talented those teams were.
Oh, they were great.
And well-disciplined. The coach wasn't, but the team itself, well-disciplined, right?
Yeah.
And made a difference in some big football games. We just haven't had that. I mean, not even remotely close to that kind of talent in years.
Calabrasca. We had Calabrasca.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, not quite. No, I can't go that far. Like I mentioned earlier, I like that 7.5. I think that's right where it needs to be, and I think the odds makers hit the nail on the head. That's why we haven't seen any movement one way or the other. So that means your national guys, your guys that are strolling into Vegas on their summer bender, having fun.
Yep. They're
looking at that and like, oh, that's about right. And half are betting low, half are betting high. It makes sense.
So let me ask you this. They've got Warhorse has this option, Big 10 wins for Nebraska. Okay. They play 9 conference games, over 4.5 wins.
Okay, so we got Michigan September 20th, Michigan State October 4th, Maryland the 11th, Minnesota October 17th, Northwestern should be a win, that's the 25th, then USC, UCLA to round it out, and then, well, that's in November. Then you got Penn State and Iowa to close it out. Man, that's tough.
It's tough.
That's really tough.
And everybody says this is a very manageable schedule for Nebraska this year, but when you really break it down, look at this.
I mean, you're counting on Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota. It's up in Minneapolis. It's going to be at Huntington Bank Stadium, and then you also Northwestern should be a win. There, a lot of people have them really down,
really bad.
USC, I mean, they're getting a lot of preseason hype. They made a good run for off-season champs, but no, that was Nebraska, Michigan. Yeah, I'll give you your flowers, but no, Nebraska took that home. So at best, that's probably a toss-up, and that might be the second or third game that Nebraska's not favored.
Yep.
I'm looking at USC. I'm looking at Penn State, Michigan, possibly Iowa. A lot of the national pundits, writers are really high on Iowa this year.
They really are.
It's weird to me.
I saw a clip. The quarterback rolled out, and he hit an out pass to the wide receiver for like a 8-yard gain or something, and it had like 1 million views or something. Hawkeye fans were going nuts. I'm like, that's probably a pretty electric play for them to see in the offseason. So it's
way to go. 7-yard, 8-yard out.
Yeah,
Almost a first down.
Almost, yeah.
Well, the next post was by Barstool. Those guys.
Yep.
And it was of that same quarterback throwing a pick six, and I was so back.
I was so back.
Barstool never lets you. That's how sports is, right? But get it back to the matter of hands. You're really counting on a split with Penn State, Iowa, and a split with USC, UCLA. Can that happen?
Right.
That's what you're looking at. I think it can happen.
And no slip-ups ahead of that, leading into that.
Got to beat Minnesota. Got to beat Northwestern.
Yep.
You just can't have those slip-ups. And I'm nervous enough for Game 1 Thursday night, national television audience on ESPN, all those things. I'm nervous enough just about that. So I would be much more comfortable revisiting this after October 28th or August 28th.
Here's what worries about that Minnesota game. It's at Minnesota. We always have issues there, right?
Yes.
their head coach has already, at Big Ten Media Days, was already saying, hey, the team you got to look out for is Nebraska.
What a jerk.
So they already have that circled.
Yeah. Row the boat.
That's their game. That's the one they want. They know what kind of season they're set up for. So, I'm concerned about that game. I don't like that at all. USC's really being projected kind of in that same spot as Nebraska. So it's like that game could go either way, but they're not bad.
They're not bad
They're
at all.
not bad.
And UCLA, for whatever reason over the years, has always given Nebraska trouble.
Yep.
I mean, even that year we had to play them in the Holiday Bowl, boy, what was that, like
2017? A million years ago.
2017 or something like that, where we just beat the bricks off them in the regular season and then go out to the Holiday Bowl and like, sure, whatever. I want to get into more of these exotic specials.
Let's go.
Plus 700.
Okay.
Right? $7 bet wins me $70.
Okay.
Right?
Love that.
Okay. Nebraska Cornhusker football to start the 2025-26 regular season 7-0.
Oh, my.
7-0 to start the season, plus 700.
That is the ideal start for the Cornhuskers.
So I'll just read down the schedule here.
Yes.
Cincinnati.
Okay.
The Bearcats week 1. We've talked about that.
Yep.
Akron Zips.
We got to win that. Yep.
September 6th. Here it is. September 20th. Michigan Wolverines. All right.
That's the first challenge.
Yeah. Like what? How are we going to do that? And there's also another Cinderella, a powder puff on September 13th. That's going to be on FS1 at 11 o'clock kickoff. We got that one in the bag. What's the game 4 against Michigan is what we need to focus in on here. Do we really think they can do that?
Assuming everything goes to plan versus Cincinnati, you got to believe they're 3-0 heading into that Michigan game, and then you got to believe they're going to be hyped at home for
Michigan's
the Wolverines.
going to be hyped too.
Yeah. But you got to think this would be the game for Rule to hype them up that this is our time. This is our first game to put on the mantle and say we did it. Start 4 and going into a bye week, give it everything you got, right?
Okay. Yes. There's a bye week after that.
I don't know. That game scares me.
That's what I was going to say. I still don't know. I have heard a lot of, you listen to Michigan guys, oh, yeah, we're national champion contenders. We just beat Ohio. Yeah, right. You had an 8-win season last year.
Yep.
And a lot of people are projecting to have another 8-win season.
Right, yeah.
That in reality, that is a game we get at home we should get. But I'm not counting on it whatsoever. And then let's say I put on my rosy-colored, big red, crimson and cream glasses. I'm like, we got it, we win. And then we do win that. Take that bye week. We get to hear about how great we are. Well, you still got to come back and beat Michigan State and Maryland. Maryland, by the way, beat you a couple years ago, right? And you're heavy favorites. We've had our problems with Michigan State in the past. So even if you do get past Michigan, you still got to win the following 2 games, and then you have a whole slew of other issues. And that's one thing that Nebraska's been really bad at over this last 10, 15 years. You win a big game, you're riding high. Can you stay there? Can you actually perform at that level, stay at that level? We haven't seen it.
Well, that's to your point. Let's just say we go 6-0, and then we go into our very first road game of the season, and it's at Maryland. That's the part that really trips me up. So if you can't
too many things.
Yeah, I don't know. That 7-0 plus 700 sounds incredible because it's doable.
It is doable. It's very doable.
It's also quite the gamble for Husker fans.
Okay, so real quick here. You don't like the plus 1,500 10-0 start.
I do not.
10-0 start.
Do not like that one.
Don't worry about that.
Please do it, Huskers, but I don't like that one.
It's fine. If you're going to get to 7-0, you might as well sprinkle the 10-0. And then the undefeated regular season. There's the horn. Is at a plus 4,000. We don't think too much of that either.
No. Boy, there'd be some parties going on here in Nebraska, wouldn't there?
Boy, that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it would.
That would be a lot of fun.
We got to host one if that's the case.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We would do that. But you heard the horn. That means we're up against it. But let's take a quick minute here to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the Nebraska Brewing Company. We're enjoying their signature beer, the Cardinal. I mean,
delicious.
It's hard to poke. It's hard to poke any holes in the Cardinal, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's their first beer they ever brewed there. And
is it really the first beer?
Yeah, in the basement.
Wow.
The backstory is really cool.
I didn't realize that was the home run. That was the one.
That's the home run. So, Nebraska Brewing Company, world class in every glass. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.